The Matrix Resurrections trailer has created lots of questions and not many answers. Obviously that's because that's the whole bloody point in a movie trailer. But a common question since the movies first came out 20 years ago is if any other character was a previous one. So let's take a look at some theories of how Trinity might be the next one in The Matrix Resurrections. Welcome to Jam Punch, my name is George. So now here we go, Trinity as the next one. Could this be the case? So there are a few things that kind of point to this. One is that in the trailer of The Matrix Resurrections, she seems to be so much more prominent than simply the one who's kind of with Neo, like she was in the first few Matrix films. Now of course she was very important in the first few Matrix films. She helped Neo get to where he needed to be, and he wouldn't get there without Trinity. It's literally part of the story that he needed her to get to his completed mission. So one of the first things that point to Trinity being incredibly important in The Matrix Resurrections, and possibly the one, is that we've seen that machines will happily leave dead human bodies on the surface untouched. We've seen this in many of the Matrix comics, one of them being a sword of a different colour, which shows the story of this slightly crazy human who's stuck on the surface, and the machines don't even bother him really. And again in the comic Hunters and Collectors, which sees a Sentinel get defeated by a human, but the Sentinel had just defeated a different human. Well, at the end of this surviving human doesn't get wiped out by another Sentinel. No, the machines don't really care about one or two humans just wandering on the surface. So therefore we can conclude that any dead human body who's there on the surface that they bring back to life and plug back into the Matrix is very important. We see Trinity's body in the Matrix Resurrections trailer. She's plugged back into something in the back of her head, so this implies that she is incredibly important to the machines. Another point that carries on from the dead body theory that I said a minute ago. As we've seen twice with Neo, when he died, he managed to come back to life. The reason is that he wasn't ready to die, as the Oracle said. But of course, it's more than just that. This is because Neo was connected to the Source all along, and it basically meant that they installed some kind of security program within him that stopped his mind from being destroyed. No matter what happened in the Matrix, doesn't matter, because his real body is connected to the Source, and it has a security around it. If Trinity is there and her body's been revived, it must mean she has the same power. It must mean she has the same connection to the Source and the same security around her mind. Another point is that the One is kind of like a half-program, half-human. I mean, that's kind of what Neo is really. Trinity has a line in the Matrix Resurrections trailer saying, "I've been waiting my whole life for you," as if she's some kind of program who's been created just to wait for Neo, like that's her purpose as a program. In the same way that Neo had a purpose to basically reignite the cycle again and again and again, maybe Trinity's purpose is to reignite the cycle again in a different way. Maybe this new one cycle for her is very different. Maybe this time it involves simply meeting Neo instead of meeting the Architect. Another point is that we've seen in previous moments that physical touching within the Matrix can have a mechanic to it. You might think, oh, it's all the Matrix, so it's all a computer-generated thing, and touching means nothing. No, we've seen again and again and again that actually touching people within the Matrix has an effect. For example, Smith had to touch people within the Matrix in order to assimilate them. The Oracle had to give Neo a cookie that he physically ate. The Merovingian had to feed that woman a cake that she physically ate in order for her to have an orgasm. So there is a physical touching element within the Matrix that has an effect. And we see in the Matrix Resurrections trailer that as Neo touches Trinity, there is a massive electronic wave put through their hands that creates a huge explosion. This is almost exactly the same as what happens at the end of Matrix Revolutions when Smith assimilates Neo and they have this same bright white light explosion. The implication being that Trinity is just as important as Neo was, and therefore possibly a new one. Another point is Trinity says in the Matrix Resurrections trailer, "I saw this in a dream." Well, we've seen that dreams are very important in the Matrix storyline. Neo has those dreams in the Matrix Revolutions about the Machine City, and the Oracle planted those inside his brain to kind of guide him to do what she wanted him to do. So this means that dreams in the Matrix are not trivial, they all mean something. So therefore, Trinity dreaming something could mean that she's dreaming it for a specific reason, i.e. she's not just a simple red pill, it means that she could be a 1. Another point that is quite forgettable, but it shouldn't be really. Trinity managed to basically revive Neo in The Matrix 1 by kissing his real-world body. If this kiss is genuinely what revived Neo, then Trinity must have had special powers from being connected to the Source. Another point, Trinity melting away. So this is another indication that she is connected to the Source. Avatars do this all the time, remember, so when a red pill goes into the Matrix or exits the Matrix, they fade away. We only get to see it once or twice, but it's basically this situation where they turn to code and they just fade away. However, for this to happen, the red pill needs to be next to a hardline phone. In this clip, there is no phone visible, so this might mean that she has the power to exit the Matrix whenever she wants. Maybe these are the godlike powers that the architect gives the One every cycle so that they can create a new Matrix. Maybe this new Matrix that we're seeing all around us in the Matrix Resurrections is Trinity's creation. It's her new world. Maybe that is the central theme of the Matrix Resurrections, is the promises that the architect made that the One has to choose so many males, so many females, and then rebuild Zion and then rebuild the Matrix. Maybe that's what Trinity is doing. She has the godlike powers, and she's starting again. Now Raven, Underworld, Spoonboy, Trinity, even this guy, they all have one thing in common, and it's their bloody epic outfits. And costumes like these are what you can expect to see at Project Matriculated, a Matrix-themed cosplay event with a live DJ taking place on the 22nd of December in Riverdale, New Jersey. The wonderful Neo Matrixology has arranged this awesome event that I really wish I could attend myself, but international travel is a little difficult right now, as you can imagine. Matrix cosplay is not required, but it is strongly encouraged because a $250 cash prize will be awarded for the best Matrix-themed cosplay. However, the best part is that if you purchase your ticket using the promo code JAMPUNCH1, you'll receive a 15% discount. That's JAMPUNCH1. More details are on screen and in the description box below, and please contact Neo Matrixology for any questions. Thank you for watching that, everybody. If it was a help to you and you really liked learning about the Matrix lore, then please subscribe to Jam Punch and I'll be releasing a brand new Matrix Explained video every single week. My name is George, this is Jam Punch, and I'll see you next time.